Being a parent is one of the most rewarding experiences in life, but it's also one of the most terrifying. You are responsible for a tiny, fragile life, and the world is full of dangers you never even imagined until you had a child. But sometimes, the real horror doesn't come from the outside world. It comes from the home itself, from the shadows in the nursery, the whispers in the baby monitor, or the chilling realization that something is terribly, terribly wrong. These are 3 disturbing true parenting horror stories that will make you check on your child one more time before bed, if you even sleep at all. Sarah was a single mother to a bright, bubbly 4-year-old girl named Lily. Life wasn't easy, but they managed. One night, Sarah was woken up by the sound of Lily talking in her room. It was 2 a.m. Half asleep, Sarah got up and peeked into her daughter's room. Lily was sitting up in bed, staring into the dark corner of her room. "Sweetheart, who are you talking to?" Sarah asked. Lily turned to her mother with an innocent smile and said, "The man in the closet." Sarah's heart dropped. The closet door was slightly open, just a crack, but enough for a deep, suffocating darkness to spill into the room. Her first instinct was to brush it off as a child's imagination, but something in Lily's face, something in the way she stared back at the closet, made her skin crawl. Trying to stay calm, Sarah walked to the closet and yanked it open. Nothing. "Lily, there's no one here," she said, forcing a smile. Lily shook her head. "He's hiding now." Sarah didn't sleep that night. The next morning, she installed a baby monitor with night vision, just to give herself peace of mind. But what she captured on that monitor made her blood run cold. At exactly 2 a.m. the next night, Lily sat up again in bed. She turned to the closet, but this time, the monitor picked up something unnatural. The closet door moved, just an inch, just enough. And then, a deep, raspy whisper came through the monitor. "Lily, I'm still here." Sarah grabbed her daughter, ran from the house, and never went back. The police found nothing, no signs of forced entry, no hidden crawl spaces, just an empty closet. And a little girl who still, to this day, swears the man in the closet was real. Emma and David were thrilled when they found out they were expecting twins. Their daughters, Ava and Isla, were inseparable, always finishing each other's sentences and sharing an eerie kind of intuition. But as they grew older, their parents began to notice something unsettling. The girls started talking about their other mommy. At first, Emma thought it was just an imaginary friend, but it became stranger. The twins would say things like, "Other mommy doesn't like when you move the furniture." "Other mommy says the man in the yard isn't nice." "Other mommy says you shouldn't lock the basement door." Emma's unease turned to terror when one night she woke up to find both girls standing at the foot of her bed. Their faces were blank, their eyes unfocused. "Mommy," Ava whispered, "other mommy says you need to leave before the fire." Chills ran down Emma's spine. "What fire, sweetheart?" Neither girl answered. They turned and walked back to their room as if nothing had happened. The next morning, Emma and David decided to do some research on their house. What they found made their stomachs drop. Decades earlier, the house had belonged to a woman named Margaret, a mother of twin girls. One night, in a fit of rage, her husband locked her in the basement and set the house on fire. The twins were rescued, but Margaret was never seen again. Emma and David moved out the very next day. The night they left, as they packed the last of their things into the car, Emma swore she saw something in the upstairs window. A woman's figure, watching. Laura and James were overjoyed when they brought their newborn son, Oliver, home from the hospital. Everything was perfect, until Laura started noticing discrepancies. Oliver had been born with a small birthmark on his left shoulder, but after a few days at home, It was gone. His eye color had shifted from deep brown to a startling shade of blue. She tried to convince herself that she was imagining things. New mom paranoia, sleep deprivation. But the unease wouldn't go away. Then one night she heard crying over the baby monitor. But when she got to Oliver's crib, he was sound asleep. The crying was still coming from the monitor. It sounded close, like it was in the room with her. Shaking, she checked under the crib, the closet, the hallway. Nothing. The next morning, she confronted James. "I don't think this is our baby." James, thinking she was suffering from postpartum anxiety, dismissed her fears. But Laura couldn't shake the feeling. She started digging into hospital records, desperate for answers. What she found made her stomach drop. That night, she sat James down and showed him the files. The baby they had brought home wasn't their baby. The hospital had made a mistake. But before they could act, the baby monitor crackled again. A voice, small and desperate, whispered, "Mommy, I'm still here." Laura and James froze. The sound was coming from inside the walls. The police arrived and made a horrifying discovery. Inside the walls of the nursery, hidden in a crawl space, they found a tiny, shriveled body. A newborn, long dead. Their real son. The hospital had made a mistake. But something else, something unnatural, had made sure they never noticed. They never learned what the thing in the crib truly was. Parenting is supposed to be a beautiful experience, but sometimes it's a nightmare. These stories remind us that not everything in the nursery is innocent. Sometimes the real terror is hiding in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to whisper your name. Which of these stories disturbed you the most? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to check on your child tonight.